let me ask you something. Have you ever scrolled through social media and felt like everyone else is doing better than you? New cars, better apartments, trips you didn't know were possible on their salary. And meanwhile, you're doing the responsible thing, paying bills, skipping upgrades, checking your balance before you buy groceries. And the quiet thought creeps in, am I doing something wrong? But what if the problem isn't that you're falling behind? What if the problem is that most of what you're comparing yourself to isn't real wealth at all? What if the pressure to look successful is the very thing that keeps people financially trapped? Today isn't about shaming spending, and it's not about frugality either. This video is about a pattern, a system, a psychological game that rewards appearances and quietly punishes reality. My name's Evan, and this channel exists to explain the rules most people are never told. Walk through almost any neighborhood. You'll see it instantly. Large homes, new SUVs, renovations, smart doorbells, solar panels. Everything looks successful. But visuals don't tell you how that life is funded. They don't show leverage. They don't show monthly payments. They don't show how fragile the setup really is. The modern lifestyle is optimized for display. Homes are financed close to the edge. Cars are stretched across 6 to 7-year loans. Vacations are layered on top of credit. Comfort is bought first, stability later, if ever. From the outside, it looks like wealth. From the inside, it often feels like constant pressure. And here's the key insight. Looking rich and being rich use opposite behaviors. One prioritizes visibility. The other prioritizes resilience. Humans don't buy things only for usefulness. We buy signals. Signals tell other people where we stand, what tribe we're in, whether we belong. For most of history, status meant survival. Being perceived as strong, capable, resource-rich meant protection. That wiring didn't disappear. It just moved into consumption. Cars, clothes, phones, homes. Certain purchases aren't about function, they're about messaging. And once a purchase becomes a signal, price stops being a downside. Price becomes the feature. Because expensive things do one thing extremely well. They exclude. If fewer people can have it, the signal becomes stronger. That's why lowering the price of a luxury product often destroys its appeal. The value was never utility, it was separation. Here's where things turn dangerous. True wealth can absorb expensive signals without damage. If a billionaire buys a $300,000 car, it barely registers. But the middle class doesn't have surplus capital. It has tight margins. So when the middle class imitates elite behavior, the cost isn't symbolic, it's structural. Payments replace savings, appearances replace optionality, debt replaces flexibility. This is the fatal trade. You exchange long-term security for short-term social comfort. And because everything looks normal, because everyone around you is doing the same thing, it feels safe. Until it doesn't. Here's the part most people never think about. You're not seeing full financial lives, you're seeing fragments. Some people look wealthy because they're heavily leveraged, they live with family, they receive silent support, they earn side income you never see, or they've timed expenses across years. All of that gets compressed into a single continuous highlight reel. It creates a dangerous distortion. You're comparing your entire financial reality to someone else's best angles. And the brain interprets that as falling behind, not because you are, but because the comparison itself is broken. This is where the damage becomes internal. When you believe everyone else is winning, you stop trusting your own progress. You feel behind even when you're stable. You feel poor even when you're improving. That pressure pushes people towards spending, not because they want the thing, but because they want relief. Relief from judgment, from comparison, from the fear of being seen as less than. And that relief is expensive, because it doesn't last. The signal fades, the payment remains. Here's the quiet truth. Real wealth is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It rarely shows up on timelines. Real wealth looks like options, time, low stress, the ability to say no. It's the car not upgraded, the house not stretched, the purchase not justified. It's everything you don't see. And ironically, the more of it you have, the less incentive you feel to prove anything at all. This video wasn't about shaming lifestyles, and it wasn't about telling you how to live. It was about explaining a pattern, a system that rewards appearances and quietly taxes reality. Once you see it, you stop feeling behind. You realize most people aren't ahead, they're just visible. And visibility is not the same thing as security. My name is Evan, and this channel exists to explain the rules you were never taught. If this video helped you see your life a little more clearly, consider subscribing. We're not here to look rich. We're here to understand the system well enough to stop losing to it.